I am standing in the middle of where I store my quilts. This right here is a big pile of quilts I just took pictures of. Hi, it's Lynne with Soft Squares. I am standing in the middle of my area where I keep my quilts. I have a very large hallway and I've got some big cupboards in it, and I'm going to show you where I keep my finished quilts. So this is an antique cabinet that has some glass shelving in it. Hard to see, but there's a shelf right there and another shelf right here, and there's two other shelves. This is where smaller blankets are because this cabinet's not very deep. And then in the corner there, this is a quilt that my sister-in-law is getting. And then here's another cupboard. And this one only has the top part. The bottom is drawers and other things are in there, but the top is bigger and deeper and full of quilts. And there's only one glass shelf in here, which is why this turned into a storage area in the first place, because the one right here broke. And I can fit more things in there. But anyway, I am hanging out right here because I have this table right here, right in front of all this. By the way, that is the sewing room. We'll come back and look at this in a minute. But anyway, this is my big pile of blankets. I just took pictures of all of these. And so this is going to be in this video, which is part 2. And then this stack of blankets, I guess they're quilts, I'm so sorry. Stack of quilts right here are from part 1. So I have to figure out where I'm going to put them. And until then, they're going to hang out right here. So if you go into the sewing room, you can see, oh, you should have seen it. I had quilts piled high and deep, and it was quite lovely. It was driving me crazy. But anyway, this is my stand-up sewing area, and I started a new quilt. I've got the pieces of that hanging there. I am working on this one. It's taken me forever, but I'm ready to start sewing. This is that 4th quilt from the 4 out of 1 pattern. That might be eventually done. I'm not as concerned about that. This is one of 4 quilts that I made using the same pattern through the 3-yard quilt. This one is gigantic. It is a king size. And this is the blue one. I'm going to call them Free Spirit quilts because they're all the same fabric from Free Spirit. Today I'm going to put up 2. This quilt is from the Make It Christmas with 3-yard quilts. I used this pattern. The final size is 91 by 100. And it's not a Christmas blanket, not a Christmas quilt, but this is worked great. So this is the example that they use. And you can see how different things look with different fabrics. Again, it's 91 by 100. This is a big quilt. This is my Free Spirit quilt number 2. Not quite as big as the dark blue one, but it's still really big. This quilt is called Favorite Things. It's out of the Make It Christmas with 3-Yard Quilts book. It is this one. It is not Christmas print, but it is a pattern from here. And I used this one called Favorite Things. So it just goes to show how things can look with different fabrics. And there that is. Now they were anticipating 42 by 62. I ended up with 87 by 98. I did have 2 yards of my focal fabric, but then I also kept going bigger and played with the borders. So again, I'm loosely getting these patterns from the 3-Yard Quilts, but I love them. This is another 3-Yard quilt. I really like the 3-Yard quilts. They're nice and easy. I'll reference the book so you know which ones these came out of. Here's this one. We're putting little foxes and bears. It's really hard to see, but on the back side it's going to be so cute. All right, this quilt is called Engagement. It is also a 3-Yard quilt. And there we go with our close-up of what they had anticipated. I enlarged mine, so mine is 61 by 68. They're showing as a 1 yard, it would be that big. So I've played with it, modified it, and came up with this one. All right, this is one of the quilts that I designed. I still need to name it. So if you have any ideas, put them in the description, and then eventually I'll be making the pattern, and I'm gonna make it easier than the last one. I'm learning how to do patterns. But This is a lot of fun. Just basically pinwheels. To me, it looks like roses or flowers. They're stems. This is my pattern. I don't have it written out yet, but I would like to get it written, and I do need some help naming it. I think it looks like flowers. So right now I'm calling it Coral Bouquet. However, if you guys have any suggestions on it, I would love to hear your input. So leave the comments below. But this is my pattern. It's not out of a book, and its dimensions are 56 by 71, so it's a good size throw quilt. To me, these are flowers, and that's the stem. That's just what I saw. Guess what? It's another 3-yard quilt. This is a 12 by 16 pillow cover made from one of the blocks from this quilt. And the back side has the same fabric. This quilt is, dimensions are 50 by 63. It comes out of this book, Quilts on the Double, which is a 3-yard quilts through Quilt Cafe. On the back, it has pictures of all the quilts in here, and I did this one. So it's called Broad Strokes. All right, so there's the pattern. You can tell I've used it because I have writing in there. And I'm going to say that this is loosely based off of the 3-yard quilts because I get the increments for the middle blocks, and then I play with the borders. So I'm not truly using just 3 yards or even just doubling it to be just 2 yards each. So, but this is where the concept came from for this. I'm going to give them credit. It's called Broad Strokes. This quilt is taken from the Just One Charm Pack book, and I had extra fabric, so I turned it into a pillow cover. This quilt is from the Just One Charm Pack. The pattern name is Coin Flip. It is a 44 by 44 size quilt, and I had enough left over to make a throw pillow cover. And this is what the book looks like. This is one of the 2 scrap quilts that I made. I want to show you up close the really cute stitching that my quilter picked out. Isn't that cute? My husband says it's a spider on drugs who made this spider web. I'm calling this quilt the Halloween Vortex quilt. Measurements are 51 by 61, and this is a crazy quilt. All right, here is the fall, I don't know if we should call it fall vortex. I think it looks like candy corn. This scrap quilt. You guys have to tell me what you like. I'm thinking candy corn. This is my crazy quilt, the candy corn, because it looks like the candy corn, like what's in there, the little chocolate ones. Anyway, I'm calling this candy corn, fall candy corn, and the measurements on this scrappy quilt is 35 by 45. And here are the two scrap quilts side by side. They both started out with the same size, which was actually this one. This one just got more borders and made it more of a throw size. This one to me makes me think of like a wall hanging or a baby blanket.